This video is sponsored by dbrand. Hey guys, it's Zach. Hope you all are doing well. OnePlus just announced their new OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro smartphones, and I've had the awesome privilege to be able to check them out a little early, so I'm going to share them with you today and to give you guys my thoughts on them so far. Alright, so in this really cool reviewer's kit, we've got some cases on the right, which we'll take a look at in a little bit, and we've got the phone off to the left, and I absolutely love these red boxes. I was always a fan of the white and the red boxes from before, but these red boxes, man, they hit different. They make for a great unboxing experience. So we've got the 8 Pro itself, the Warp Charge 30 power adapter, the Warp Type-C cable. We've also got safety and warranty information, along with a bunch of really awesome looking stickers, a free case, and the SIM injection tool. Now, taking a look at the phone itself, you'll see I've got this brand new colorway OnePlus is calling Glacial Green, and I actually like this color a lot. And what's cool about it is depending on how different light hits it, the color will shift and you'll get a little blue in there as well. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and run through some specs real quick. OnePlus equipped the 8 Pro with the latest and greatest Snapdragon 865 CPU, Adreno 650 GPU, 8 or 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, 128 or 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.0 storage, and it's got a 4,510 mAh battery. Now, as for the cameras, we're looking at a 48 megapixel main sensor, a 48 megapixel ultra wide, an 8 megapixel telephoto, a rather interesting 5 megapixel color filter camera, and the front facing camera uses a 16 megapixel sensor with EIS. It also boasts this really big 6.78 inch Quad HD plus 120 Hz AMOLED panel. And yes, you can run it at full resolution at 120 Hz. It looks and it feels phenomenal. I love it. Now, new to the scene, as far as OnePlus phones are concerned at least, are the additions of an official IP rating and wireless charging. Yes, finally, these are things I know many of us have been waiting for with OnePlus phones. It is an IP68 rating, so pretty standard stuff, and I'm sure most of you know that OnePlus phones have had general everyday water resistance before, but not quite like this, not to this level, and now it's official. As for the wireless charging, this is actually pretty interesting. So according to OnePlus, it took them this long to implement wireless charging because they weren't exactly satisfied with charging speeds in comparison to their wired charging. So now with the 8 Pro, OnePlus has added 30-watt wireless charging capabilities. So we're looking at a 50% charge in half an hour using OnePlus's new Warp wireless charging stand. That's pretty crazy. I actually have one of these stands, and I'll be testing it along with the phone, of course, for my full review. Now, you're probably thinking that with wireless charging speeds this quick, there's got to be some sort of heat involved here, and you would be right. Heat is definitely a result of this fast charging. But OnePlus pretty much thought of everything because the charging stand has a built-in fan. Not only that, because that's not super special, it's not the first wireless charging stand to have a fan in it. In the phone's battery settings, there's something called bedtime mode, and that's there for those that plan on keeping their charging stands on their nightstands. The sound of the fan may bother some people that are trying to sleep, so this mode slows down the charging, which then reduces the fan speed, resulting in less noise. So I gotta hand it to OnePlus for that. They really came swinging with this addition. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that OnePlus also added reverse wireless charging. So like we've seen from Samsung, you can use the 8 Pro to juice up a friend's phone, you can charge up some earbuds or a smartwatch as long as they're compatible. So props to OnePlus for stepping up the wireless charging game a bit. Other than that, this is pretty familiar territory. Oxygen OS is in full effect, and it's better than ever. The phone shares about the same footprint with the 7 Pro, albeit a little over 2.5 millimeters taller, 7 grams lighter, and ever so slightly narrower. It's a big phone. The curves on the display are more dramatic, they're sharper, which of course helps with the phone being more narrow, but it doesn't help in the practicality sense because, well, accidental input is a thing. The back camera module is also worth noting because it's it's pretty big. It's actually the first thing I noticed when I took the phone out of the box, and I instantly noticed how my index finger tends to hit it because that's the area my index finger rests when I hold the phone. And I can pretty much guarantee you that Marquez is talking about how this phone rocks while it's on a table. There's some pretty serious movement there. It's not the end of the world though, and I'm assuming there's good reason for it being such an obvious protrusion. Speaking of the cameras, I haven't had the phone long enough to review it, much less putting the cameras through a full-on, super thorough test, but I did mess around with them for a little bit and I got some shots. Let me know what you think. So now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the 8 Pro's little brother, the OnePlus 8. Now I was really looking forward to this one as well, and a big reason behind that is one of its new colorways. Now the unboxing experience is pretty much the same as what you'll get with the 8 Pro, so let's check out this new color that OnePlus is calling Interstellar Glow. And my goodness, this thing is gorgeous. It is the most reflective, the most sleek, the most shiny, the most flashy back of a phone I think I've ever seen. It's beautiful, and then it gets all ruined when you touch it because, you know, fingerprints exist. If you have a phone with a glossy back, you know how they can be. You're gonna want to check out channel sponsor Dbrand because they'll have your phone covered, literally. Even if your phone doesn't have a glossy back, switch up the look and feel with all of the different colors and textures that they have to offer. They even sell grippy phone cases and screen protectors too. Check them out using the very first link in the description. So yeah, when I took this phone out of the box, I couldn't stop saying wow, because I honestly did not expect to see this. OnePlus just keeps getting more and more bold. Literally, their new text logo is bold and capitalized. I just thought I'd throw that out there in case you missed it. As for the specs, the 8 shares the same CPU, GPU, and RAM and storage counts as the 8 Pro, though it's got LPDDR4X RAM as opposed to LPDDR5. It's got a smaller, lower resolution display with a 90Hz refresh rate instead of 120. It's got a smaller 4300 mAh battery. It's only a little bit smaller in terms of footprint overall, and sadly enough, it lacks both the wireless charging and IP68 rating we get with the 8 Pro. It also has a different camera setup with different sensors, including that macro camera that's so fun to mess around with. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get into pricing and availability for these phones. You ready? Boom, there you go. Yeah, not the same OnePlus this time around, huh? We're used to seeing lower price tags from these guys. Now, I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. $700 for the regular OnePlus 8, to me anyway, is a tougher pill to swallow than the 8 Pro and its $900 price tag. Seeing as how the 8 Pro has added a good number of things that we didn't get last year, while the regular 8 is very similar to the 7T aside from the obvious upgraded hardware. It's a good amount more expensive than the 7T is right now. Either way, OnePlus has really taken some pretty significant steps forward as time has passed. The 8 Pro being the follow-up to the already awesome 7 Pro, while the regular 8 is more of a follow-up to the also already awesome and perhaps ahead of its time 7T. It's pretty clear to see that OnePlus isn't messing around this year. Not that they were before, but they really came to play, entering the high end in terms of price range, a range that they, until now, hadn't entered yet. These phones offer some serious power. These are easily going to be some of the best performers we'll get this year. Excellent, solid hardware paired up with some excellent software. Add on nice, satisfying clicky buttons, strong haptics, upgraded cameras, an alert slider, fast fingerprint and face unlock, and some of the quickest charging you'll ever see. And you've got yourself an absolute monster of a phone, both on paper and in real world use. The 8 Pro is obviously the main attraction here, packing a serious punch, especially with the additions of an official IP rating, very fast wireless charging, and what appear to be some really nice upgraded cameras. Of course, I'll be putting both of these phones through my usual testing, and I'll be back with my full reviews. Until then, keep it locked to the channel for more content. I've got more on the way very soon. So what do you think of the new OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro? Let me know down below in the comments and we'll talk about them. If you liked this video, leave it a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you're new. Also, please feel free to join my Discord server where you guys can chat with me about all things tech and other stuff like Android setups, applications, heck, we can even talk about food. I'll talk to you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for watching.